So this afternoon we've left Whitetail behind and procured the use of some other mode of transportation. It's a bit confusing, it doesn't have any sails. There's a wheel, but it's off to one side, it's not on the center line of the vessel. Anyway, we're going to have a look around the island. So we are currently on the island of Eleuthera, one of the major islands or island groups of the island nation of the Bahamas. Eleuthera was settled by a group of English people who came here for religious reasons. They came here from Bermuda in the 1600s. They actually got shipwrecked. They did intend to come here to Eleuthera, and on arriving they got shipwrecked here on the reefs behind me. These are the reefs on the northern shore of Eleuthera, and the network of reefs here is called the Devil's Backbone. Now, the two biggest towns in Eleuthera are not actually on the island of Eleuthera. On the western side, you've got Spanish Wells. On the eastern side, you've got an island with, what's the name of it, Dan?
Dunmore?
Dunmore. These two settlements are not, they're on their own islands, just off the northern tip of Eleuthera. Boats wanting to get from one to the other have to go through the network of reefs like these guys are doing over here in order to get from one to the other. We chose not to do this. It's something for which you would want to hire a pilot, because you're essentially taking your boat between all of the coral heads. You have to know what you're doing, otherwise you're just going to get wrecked, just like those early settlers did here on the northern tip of Eleuthera. So it's kind of an interesting place. I don't know if the camera's going to be able to see how the color of the water changes out there because of the reefs. So you can spot the reefs, but it's not something I fancy doing. Having reached Eleuthera only to be shipwrecked, those first English settlers back in 1648 had to find somewhere toot sweet to take shelter. And this cave served their purposes. This is now called Preacher's Cave, and it's where they took shelter after their vessels were destroyed on the rocks on the northern shore. And that is how the first English settlers got here and survived their tumultuous arrival.